It's been gone now for close to 50 years, but if a Scottsville woman has her way, the memory of the Jacksonian Hotel will never die. This is the Jacksonian Hotel. It's actually the third version of the hotel, as the previous two burned. This hotel was built in 1919. It was quite the sight to see.
There was 50 rooms that could be rented, but there was one room we turned into a ladies' lounge that before you went into the main dining room, there was another room that was used for storage. So actually there was 45 rooms actively being rented out at that time. Some had bathrooms, some did not. Those that didn't have a bathroom did have a lavatory in them. And there was people that wanted rooms that did not have the bathroom. And there was a bridal suite in the hotel. It was a 2-room bridal suite that had the canopy bed and the sitting room. And that was on the 3rd floor, right at the curvature of the hotel. And on the 2nd floor, there was a 2nd floor, as they called it, a parlor. And that was like a living room area. And a lot of people rented that to have bridge clubs. There was photographers that came there and set up. The Olin Mills Company quite frequently come and set up there. It was rented also quite a bit, the 2nd floor parlor. And then there was a large lobby in the downstairs area of the hotel before you went back into the dining room.
Beverly Anderson actually lived in the hotel with her parents from the time she was 13 until she was 18. Her mother served as the hotel's manager for 8 years.
She planned the menus and ordered the food, but Mother didn't do a lot of the cooking itself. Mr. Maxwell Hodge had been cook, and Miss Tilly Starks had been the 2 major cooks at the hotel for years and years before my mother got there. But she oversaw in the dining room as well as all of the rooms that was rented at the hotel.
The Jacksonian was a popular destination for travelers.
It was very popular as far as the dining room itself was concerned. It took a little while to build up. Mrs. Curtis Foster preceded Mother being there. And she and Mr. Curtis retired, and Miss Foster had this type of food and the service before my mother went there. But after Mama got there, and word of mouth was the only advertisement that the hotel ever had. And on Sunday dinners, we could never have enough food to feed everyone. We'd start serving at 11 o'clock, and by 2, we were supposed to have food until 2. But there was people that came to the hotel to eat from Nashville, Tennessee, from Gallatin, from Paducah, Owensboro, all places all around, because it was family style. And everyone sat at the same table, and there was like, over the hotel dining room, it would seat approximately 75 to 100 people in the dining room.
A new owner purchased the hotel in the early 1970s. Suddenly, things changed.
The reason that the hotel lost its primary importance of being, I think, was because at that time, these new motels was being built everywhere, and people were getting away from checking into the hotel and maybe going to the 2nd or the 3rd floor when they could pull up and have their vehicle right in front of their door at a motel. I think that had a lot of bearing with it, but from the time that Mr. Guy Comer passed away, and he was still owner of the hotel, and it was overseen by a lot of people in the state of Tennessee at that time. And the people that was still in control of the hotel, even after my mother and daddy decided to leave, leased it to Mr. Charles Farnsley, who had been mayor up at Louisville. and he wanted to lease the building and convert it over into a bed and breakfast, and change the menu from the family style menu to individual tables all throughout the dining room. And he wanted to bring lots, and did bring, beautiful antique furniture in, and created rooms that had the bathrooms with elegant old antique furniture. And he approached my mother and wanted her to stay and continue to manage the hotel. And she and my daddy talked about it, and they knew, or they felt like, that the bed and breakfast was not what Scottsville would build upon. And it was on the old Andrew Jackson Highway. And that was a main connection between Nashville and Louisville. So the hotel in its prime was granular, and it was sort of midway between the Nashville and Louisville, or just a little bit beyond. And it was really in demand because of the old, and it was, the tale has it that President Andrew Jackson stayed there maybe one night. Now, this was before my time, so I'm telling what I've been told. But that was a commute for him between Tennessee and Washington, D.C. And so it was said that he had spent the night there, and that's where the Jacksonian got its name from, was that.
The hotel eventually was razed in 1973, and now just memories remain. Anderson, however, as long as she's alive, will make sure Allen Countyans know about this hotel. She often speaks to school groups.
Because I want people to remember what the hotel meant to Scottsville. I want the people that I would have never thought 63 years ago that I would be sitting here talking with you today about the years that I spent at the hotel. But there's very few people that worked at the hotel that are still living there. And it's pleasant memories for all of our age group of people, and even older. And I don't want those memories to be forgotten just because the building is no longer there. And it gives me great, I've had the opportunity to speak at school for several of the younger grades, so that they will at least know that it truly existed and it's not just a picture.
Gone, but for a lot of people in this town, not forgotten. Reporting from Scottsville, Barry Hyatt, NCTV.